Good day, everyone. Welcome to English for Academic and Professional Purposes class. Today, we're going to talk about critic and the first three critical approaches in writing a critic. So, without any further ado, let us start our discussion. Sit back, listen, and enjoy your learning. First, let's have our learning objectives. Define critic. Identify the structure of a critic paper. Differentiate the critical approaches used in writing a critic. Develop critical thinking skill through evaluation of the text and media. So now, what is critic? A critic is a careful analysis of an argument to determine what is said, how well the points are made, what assumptions underline the argument, what issues are overlooked, what implications are drawn from such observation. It is a systematic yet personal response and evaluation of what you read. It is a genre of academic writing that briefly summarizes and critically evaluates a work or concept. Critics can be used to carefully analyze a variety of works. Creative works such as novels, exhibits, films, images, or poetry. Research such as monographs, journal articles, systematic reviews, or theories. Media such as news reports and features articles. Like an essay, a critic uses a formal academic style and has a clear structure. That is an introduction, body, and conclusion. Introduction. Typically, the introduction should be the following: name of the work, the date it was made, and creator's name. Describe the main idea or purpose of the work. Explain the context of the work being critiqued. Have a concluding sentence that hints at what your evaluation of the work will be. Body. The body of the critic is where the summary and critical evaluation are located. This should also contain the bulk of your critique. Summary. The summary briefly enumerate and explain the main points and objectively describe how the creators portrayed this by using varied techniques, style, media, characters, or symbol. Summarize the text in your own word. Critical evaluation. The critical evaluation should give a systematic and detailed assessment of the different elements of the work. Evaluate how well the creator was able to achieve their purpose through this element. Quote or paraphrase information from other sources that could prove why the work you are critiquing has certain strengths and weaknesses. You should also cite ideas and supporting evidence from related works and then explain how the evidence supports your evaluation of the work. Conclusion. This is usually a very brief paragraph and should include the following: a statement indicating the evaluation of the work, a summary indicating the reason why evaluation was poor, recommendation for improvement of the work if appropriate. So why do we write critics? Writing a critics is help us develop first a knowledge of a work's subject area or related works, an understanding of a work's purpose, intended audience, development of argument, structure of evidence or creative style. Also, a recognition of strength and weaknesses of the work. Now, let's talk about how to write a critic. Before you start writing, It is important to have a thorough understanding of the work that will be critiqued. Study the work under discussion. Make notes on key parts of the work. You may also develop a understanding of the main argument or purpose being expressed in the work. Consider also how the works relate to the broader issue or a context. Read about critical approaches. You can highlight some important ideas you can use in expressing your views.
Now, let's talk about what are the various critical approaches in writing a critic. We have several of them, but in today's video lesson, we will only tackle three. First, we have is formalism, gender criticism, and feminism. In formalist, it focuses on the text. If you're going to analyze a text, focus on the text itself. The background of the author doesn't matter. What we care most about here is the text itself. You're going to criticize what is in the text. Next is it uses close reading. When you say close reading, you're going to read the text word by word. Because formalist critics believe that every word has a relation to one another and that words here are related and they have a relationship. Next, it ignores the author, reader, and social context of the author's opinion. The reader's opinion and the social backgrounds of the text does not matter. What we're looking for in formalism are the imagery, the figurative languages found in the text structure, the text style, and the tone of the text. Next is gender criticism. Gender criticism is a critical approach that examines how gender influences the way characters are represented in a text, film, artwork, or other forms of media. It looks at the rules, expectations, and stereotypes associated with different genders and how these affect the story and its characters. When using gender criticism, we analyze the roles of male and female characters, gender stereotypes and expectations, power relationships between genders, quality, and representation, how society's views on gender are reflected in the work. Example, if a story shows men as strong leaders, but women as weak and emotional, challenges stereotypes, question common ideas about how men and women should act. To conclude, gender criticism helps us understand how gender is represented in literature, films, and other forms of art. It encourages us to think critically about stereotypes, equality, and the roles assigned to different genders in society. Feminism is a critical approach that examines how women and gender are represented in literature, media, and other texts. It analyzes issues such as gender equality, discrimination, stereotypes, and power relationships between men and women. Feminist criticism seeks to understand whether a text reinforces or challenges traditional gender roles and social expectations. Focuses on how literature represents women as subjects of social, political, psychological, and economic oppression. It reveals how aspects of our culture are patriarchal.
Common aspect of feminism. How culture determines gender. How gender equality or lack of it is presented in the text. How gender issues are presented in literary work and other aspects of human production and daily life. How women are socially, politically, psychologically, and economically oppressed by patriarchy. How patriarchal ideology is an overpowering presence.